Hello everyone, my YouTube name is Kiva. In this video I've decided to show you some of my favourite houses that I've made in the Sims Freeplay, and to talk you through some of the thought processes I've had on designing these houses to give you some tips as well. There really is no one singular way to build a sim house. You can absolutely do whatever you like. This is just a starting point if you want some inspiration. And I thought this first house was filmed during like a winter quest, so there was the snow, which I thought looked really cool for this setting, and there's even a little snow sprite in the garden there. So I'm basically just going to take you on a tour of the house and show off all the lovely furniture. To be honest, I didn't really buy most of this furniture. They're mostly from winning quests or events in the actual game. This first house is quite a small bungalow. I tried to go for a black and white theme, kind of chic, kind of modern looking, like with the decorations and the big glass windows. And I called it modern just as looking at the bookcase with the spiderwebs on, but this room has got the spellcasting quest in this room in particular, so I put the bookcase in. It is a bit of more of a gothic house, like there's the candles in the master bedroom. And onto the kitchen with the L-shaped black counters. There's also a wooden theme, I've realised, with the wooden dining table and the wooden counters. And of course, a drop-down chandelier always makes the dining area look a lot more fancy than it is, because it is actually quite a plain house. It's quite a small house, but actually if you put a lot of stuff into small rooms, it makes it seem like there's more stuff in it than there actually is. Also, I really like the way this house explores texture. Even though it is a 2D screen on a screen recording, it has the tiles of the bathroom, the wooden furniture, the industrial hanging lights and the rugs. But there's so many themes that you can have with a sim house, like in that little study there with the wood and the splash of green with the plants. Adding plants is a really great way to spice up a room. Like this bedroom here is quite plain, it's quite basic. I've kept with a kind of black and white. It definitely could have a revamp with plants and decorations. But anyway, that was the first house. On to the second house. It's quite posh inside. It's got some very expensive furniture that I got in quests again. And a great money saving tip for building sim houses is when you're starting the house, you build a small room and put the exterior walls and the roof on first, then build the rest of the rooms with the new walls and roof. It actually costs a lot less because you don't have to pay for that roof and walls. And on the outside of this house I have a party area with a tiki bar and the bronze tables. I think the fountain is a nice addition to the front garden. This garden does have a bit of a side garden as well, but it's just deck chairs. And of course a Cupid statue by the door. There's the little entrance gold coffee table, which I think matches the gold in the floor, and it goes up with the gold on the tables as the outside as well, which I think leads quite nicely into this very extravagant living room with the massive sofas, with a chandelier, coffee table, and also the fancy bookcases, which I absolutely love. I think they look really good. This is also a house with no electronics, so this living room, which would normally be a TV room in real life, is actually just a book room, a library, which I think was nice. Also, the giant windows and 2 sets of lighting also makes it seem like a library to me. So onto the kitchen, where I went for quite a clean look but colourful, so the colour and the white really bounce off each other really well. I feel like this kitchen really features geometric lines, sharp lines, everything's quite neat, but with the C-shaped counters it still makes it seem like a hosting house, with the tiki bar at the front. It's still friendly and welcoming and inviting. There's the big coffee amenity shelf there, also adding to that a kind of hosting feeling. It is a house for many people with lots of seating, and it's quite open plan relatively, which I also like. Also there's another chandelier making the dining room seem posh, and some paintings my Sims made. Onto the bathroom now. Very posh. This was from a villa quest, I think. I like the green thing with the gold and with the black. I think that works really well. It's definitely a very spacious, luxurious bathroom. It's much bigger than a bathroom would normally be. For a start, there's a double bath and a triple space hand basin, bath and a shower. Very luxurious, like a spa kind of feeling I get with the massive mirror and the towels. I don't know, I really thought I'd go for the full hog there. But moving on to the bedroom, there's kind of a mix of styles here, like with the brick wall and the concrete floors, but it also has the luxurious bed and the rug with the posh amenities, coffee thing in the bedroom as well as the kitchen. It's a 3-person bed, take of that what you will, but it is also got that luxurious feeling. There is also some decorations which I think adds to this, because the room's actually quite grey, it's quite beige, but the green and the plants really make it come alive. And also a little seating area there because I feel like it kind of needs it. But yeah, that's basically the whole house. I really like this house. It is also quite open plan, which I like, but also luxurious and extravagant for just an ordinary person's house. But maybe I'm just blowing this out of proportion. Let me know what you think in the comments if you're enjoying this house viewing. And onto the third house. This is over 2 floors and a full double spread, which you get closer to the beaches as opposed to like a single space. And I call it the gallery house essentially because I've got lots of paintings and artifacts and decorations, which is on the bottom, which you see here. On the top floor is more of a living area, but down here is, as I called it, the gallery space. This bottom floor has very similar floors and walls. They're all quite expensive, but I think that cohesive flooring really helps it seem more open plan in lots of individual rooms. Coming in through one of the front doors, you have kind of a reception area with the logo there. It could be an art installation if you want to call it that. And there's lots of doors leading into different passageways, spotlights on some paintings that were from a French quest, I think, or the French chalet. I think that one in the oval looks like Claire Balding, but it might not be based on her. Maybe I just might be making that up, but it really looks like Claire Balding to me. And then onto this room with a chandelier with a seating area central and some large paintings and some smaller paintings around the outside. These are the gallery walls and gallery flooring, which remains throughout the whole to make it quite cohesive. Then onto a statue room, which I think in hindsight could have been a bit bigger because they are quite big pieces as opposed to keeping them in almost like a corridor. But nonetheless, a horse room with rugs at the either end, making it seem more full at each end because the ends are just kind of walkways through as opposed to a feature. On the other side of the house there's a toilet there. At the back of the house though, there's, I call it the garden room with some singular flowers that I have as opposed to a collection of flowers. And I don't really know what this is, but some more decorations of fruit and veg, because I don't really see that as a house, an everyday person's house's item, which didn't really fit in anywhere else. At the back of the gallery there's another section of spotlighted paintings. I quite like this format also as I've got the plaques underneath. It makes it seem a little bit more legit. Also, do you see that painting there with the cone and the sphere? If you have your Sims, you can actually make them make paintings. They do different ones depending on how high they are in the artist profession, as a job. So actually you can get quite a variety of paintings that you can make your Sims do. It's a great way to get decorations if you can't buy them or don't want to buy them, as you never know what you're going to get, and it's a little bit more personal. The back room is with the giant gold Buddha, and I put some decorations around him. This room is the twin of the one on the other side of the building, very gallery looking. Now along this side of the building there's the lift, there's the toilet, and some more whiteboards I pretend to be artwork. And then here's a little bit more of a catering area with the fridges and the kitchen countertops and the bins. And then centrally, by the front door essentially, is 4 lots of marble statues, 2 of which are on a marble table. I think this looks very arty, which is why I put it at the front. And the person who made these, or the team who made this at EA, I do kind of want your job, because I really like these marble statues, obviously based on the famous statues, but yeah, I really like them. They look really good in the gallery setting. They really couldn't fit anywhere else, but I think they look exceptional. Like, even with the fountain in the background, it even like suits it the way they look in the setting. And here it is with the walls up. Looks, again, like I said, very much like a gallery. I can imagine just walking in there. Moving on to the second floor, it's more of the living area. There's a kind of study there, dining room here, and then there's lots of balconies actually on this top floor, which means you do have to walk between the kind of back area, which is almost like a gallery, guest area, hosting area, and then the front, which is much more of a living space, like it's actually its own flat. So the actual like living area of the sim is kind of separated from the gallery, which seems a bit more like public. That dining room's quite public as well. The industrial kitchen with 3 cookers backs onto more of an urban gallery, which is probably not the best design considering the floor is ice. More paintings from my Sims, more abstract art, big chandelier, rainbow stairs, of course, why not? If I was to make this house again, I probably would make like an upstairs garden or like a roof garden, because it is a bit of a mishmash of stuff upstairs, to be honest. And at the other end is almost like a beach theme with the surfboards and the shells and the abstract crystals, very more natural. So there is a bit of a juxtaposition up here, I'll grant you that. There's a bit of a guest room here. And we're back to the centre of it. I mean, I really like this house. It is massive and I did want to fill it all, which is a little bit extra, but you know, what needs must. So there's the bit of a bedroom and living room, kitchenette. I don't know, I kind of like that it's a bit mismatched. It's a bit like, it is a bit of the story of the struggling artist who's a bit poor and can't afford much and living in a tiny flat, but it does lead on to that lovely expansive balcony. The second floor does have a lot of balconies, which I do feel suits it. I feel the second floors do look better when they have balconies. But yeah, just showing you an overview of the house again. I'm quite proud of this house. It did take a long time to build. Like I said with the tips before about with the expensive roof, you do kind of need to build the roofs and exterior walls first, because the flat roofs in The Sims for some reason are expensive. I kind of like that it's a bit of a modern look. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, liking the video. If you have any more Sims Freeplay tips, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care everyone.